or 7:05. Is that you doing travel wings today?
Yeah, she does it to the end of December. So if you eat into another payers money,
So
they come for you. It's because they are not serious.
exactly, they're not. Did they even send you a script? You guys.
I'm not like.
Yes, now you're alive.
Oh wow.
By the
so
way, yesterday.
That was like you're not serious.
By the way,
Yesterday you started. She started the video 5 minutes early, and we were talking about stuff that shouldn't have gone on air, but it did.
Sorry, when I don't have internet, I have to do all these things fast. I can't do other things.
How many more days till? What are you guys doing for Christmas? What is everybody out there in YouTube land doing for Christmas? Is there any money to buy gifts? Sorry, are you buying gifts? Are you guys buying gifts? Are you buying gifts?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have. I am. You know why?
Why?
Because my family, we do that, and we have a tree in my house. So we're going to actually put it under the tree. My husband is excited. You know why this year?
Why?
Because he bought a nice present. Last year, I was excited because he didn't buy me anything. He has to go and buy it the day before Christmas. So they will say, "Oh, are we doing that thing last year? When we were giving gifts?" My mother was like, "Oh,
look at him, man.
Because they have a
the roads are. I hope you bought your gifts. The roads are going to be clogged.
No, by Monday, everybody has gone to their village. My Igbo
village.
friends have been talking about going to people. They are so happy. Rotus, you don't have a village.
Is the only Igbo friends that go to the village?
You don't joke in village.
I don't know. I'm not Igbo. People keep thinking I'm Igbo. Yeah, Orobo, yeah.
Oh yeah, so
Worry is dead. Nobody goes to Worry.
Are you from Worry?
Yes, now.
I have money. What are you doing here?
There's no jobs. No jobs.
No, you're
no infrastructure.
Our state. Please go.
All my cousins have moved to either Lagos or Abuja. That's why there's traffic.
So you are money.
Where are you from?
Working oil man.
Ask me, where is he from?
So
where are you from?
Worry,
Ogun State is also in Lagos. You on behind the camera. Where are you from?
Lagos.
That's a lie. I'm not from Lagos.
I'm from Lagos. I'm almost cousin.
So we're imposing on their space.
Yes, that's I'm an advocate.
You're from VI.
I'm telling you, my village is a walking distance. Rotus, please.
No jobs. No jobs. That's the
Rotus,
issue.
please go to Worry. Thank you.
I'll go to Worry.
Yes.
Worry where they are kidnapping people.
But your governor has money. They
Which
give him
governor?
federal allocation. How much percent more about
What's he using the money for?
Go ask him
and it's
then now.
unproducing.
If the oil producing state, if it was oil producing, I would be back in Worry and I wouldn't be here. But there's no jobs.
They need business analysts there.
It's terrible.
This business analyst.
Meanwhile, Visaya, when are you going back to your own place?
His own Ogunwabi.
Okay, it's just by the corner. We don't want you people should decongest our Lagos.
This thing, what's that company's name? Rensource Energy, the 20 million raise, and then Shipper Cash. You've also.
Okay, we're back in 10 seconds.
I haven't read all my stories. Officer has read everything.
All right, mic's up. Studio is live.
All right, Lagos City and beyond. Good morning to you. It's Tech Friday on Business Express. You really should check our YouTube clip before we got on air. I was lamenting about Worry not being a proper place for us to find jobs and so on and so forth. But shout out to everybody in Worry, and I wish you well. Fisayo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome. Yes. Good to have you in here. Lagos, you know the drill. I keep wanting to say I keep wanting to say the Johnny drill. Is he performing this Christmas? I think he is. Everybody should be performing and making money. 0809-444-0981. Do send your messages. WhatsApp. We're streaming live on YouTube, where before we went on air, you can see me complaining about there are no jobs in Worry. www.youtube.com/smooth91fm, smooth91fm, and also Twitter @smooth91fm. Fisayo, let's jump into it. Shall we start with the top Google searches in Nigeria in 2019? Google released a number of lists for a number of countries, and of course we don't care about all the other countries. We're only focusing on what Nigerians were searching for in 2019. But I have a question, and I have a question for Lagos as well. Lagos, you guys help me answer this question, because I was looking at this list and I was wondering. But let's just which one shall we do? Let's do the questions, Abi, the top questions that Nigerians were asking or searching for on Google in 2019. Do you have that? Yeah. I think we have what is xenophobia?
Yeah,
right?
okay, what is xenophobia?
What else?
What is Ruga?
Aha, what is Ruga? They were asking what is Ruga. Go ahead.
And what is terrorism?
What is terrorism? Which one again?
So what is election?
What is election? What again?
So what is justice?
What is justice? Which one again?
What is political party?
Nice. And then which one again?
What is revolution?
Okay, my favorite one. One more. There's one more under that one. Under what is revolution?
What is capital market?
Yes! I'm so happy that Nigerians were searching for what is the capital market. That made me so proud. I think we're doing our part on Business Express. That people in Nigeria in 2019, one of the top searches was what is the capital market. Well done, people. Well done. Okay, but Fisayo,
He said, what is capital market?
and what is capital market? It still counts now. It still counts. But this is my question.
Okay.
We have an unemployment rate of higher than 20%. We've been lamenting on this show about how we haven't had an update on the unemployment number since the third quarter of 2018. How come job searches were not part of the top searches in Nigeria in 2019? Is it that the search query was too complex for Google, or are people giving up? Are people no longer, or is online as a source of looking for jobs just not something that Nigerians are into? How come job searches? In fact, job searches should be showing up every year since people are looking for a job. Well, I'm just wondering. Lagos, help me answer the question. What do you think?
No, I think that people search for jobs. People search for jobs will probably not go on Google and say, what is job, or
how can I find a job?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to be a concerted effort. People just mention
banking,
exactly.
Oil and gas.
So with that, people are looking for different things, and then so the search will not be as concentrated as when people are asking questions regarding a specific event. So xenophobia is a simple thing.
Right.
People need to understand exactly what that is. But for job searches, it's like, okay, Alibotin recruiting,
right, that kind of thing.
And a different company, there are a million of them, so I can probably want to search. So I think that's what contributed. And so of course, when Google is able to compile all these searches, job-related searches together, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a lot more than what we're seeing.
Am I from Akoka says smooth management is listening to both of you. Like, continue. Good morning, feel good Friday. Yes, indeed. What's Yinka saying here? Yinka is on WhatsApp saying the only reason people ask for what is capital market is because people shall want to make money, and the fear of MMM is the beginning of wisdom. Job searches, but how? Where is the job you are searching for? By the way, have you heard of Rackersly? What is Rackersly? Oh, Rackersly, the new MMM making rounds now. There's always a new one. I haven't heard of it, Yinka. There's so many. There's always a new one coming around the Christmas time to try and bilk people of their money. So please, folks, Yinka has put that out there. Be careful about these schemes. Anything promising you too much money immediately is probably a scam. Okay, shall we move on to Google searches? Shall we move on to the next item? The Minister of Communication and the Digital Economy. He has put together, that's Mr. or Doctor, because he has a PhD, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, has unveiled the Nigerian National Broadband Plan Committee for the development of the 2020 to 2025 National Broadband Plan. And I understand that who is the chair of this committee? Is it Funke
Okweke?
Oh, yes, the CEO
of Main One.
Are you encouraged that he's putting private sector people on this committee to make sure that the national? I can already feel Yinka typing, slamming this thing. But let's just, for the sake of being positive, are you encouraged by the fact that, because it says here that the committee is based on competence, integrity, and professionalism to achieve this national broadband plan for 2020 to 2025? How do you feel about the private sector people on the plan, and where do you think they're going?
It's a 28-member committee.
28 member here.
Yes.
Sorry. It's quite large.
It's a large committee.
Yeah.
So they just headlined the chairman of the committee. You'd be surprised that other members of the committee are not necessarily
Private sector people.
Right. But again, you have to highlight your small wins.
Mm.
But that said, I don't know. I think Nigeria has had different plans for different things, different visions for different purposes. So there's really no way. I mean, I'm not encouraging in any way.
Right.
Broadband plan, but there's no overriding national development plan across, that this broadband plan fits into.
Okay.
Everybody just seems to be working in silos. Broadband plan when, university education is not necessarily at its best. Just everything is just scattered across different things.
Yeah.
The minister is trying to get hope from another situation. Yeah, but I still don't believe in any committee that's set up in Nigeria. Still don't believe in any plan that's set up in Nigeria. I still don't believe in anything that's set up.
Why so negative now?
Yeah, because we've seen plans before.
True. There was another broadband plan for the previous minister,
exactly,
which did not achieve what he was supposed to achieve.
So,
and he had a committee as well.
And then I mean, Issa Pantami is not new to this space.
Mhm.
It was the DG of NITDA,
Yeah.
And then there were plans under NITDA,
And nothing.
nothing was implemented. So
Yeah.
why should I believe him this time?
What about the right of way? Let's talk about that. That's been a bone in the throat or a stone in the shoe of a lot of people in the ICT space, talking about how the right of way charges won't allow them to lay cables the expense. He said that they're making that a priority in this plan to reduce right of way charges. What do you think?
To reduce right of way charges?
Uh,
Okay, so I mean, it's great to have.
can we explain that for our listeners, just in case
Okay,
anybody
so
doesn't know
basically,
what right
because
of way
people are
charges
trying. What right of way means is that okay, so let me put it in context.
Yeah.
People are trying to lay fiber optic cable across in the city, so it means
Right.
that they have to probably plant those cables into the ground.
Right, so
it
they have
means
to dig them up.
dig up the ground and,
Right.
and break. So the right for you to dig up the way. So
Uh-huh.
just think of it that way. So
Right.
the right of way. So,
Right of way, gotcha,
So
gotcha.
that's what it is.
And it's
So
very expensive.
It's quite expensive,
Yeah.
especially. I mean, depending on the city you're
Yeah,
in. So
yeah.
Lagos is probably going to be the most expensive.
Yeah.
Then Abuja the next, and then maybe Port Harcourt, depending on the density of the city.
Right.
So it has always been a major capital outlay for people that are trying to lay cables.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, for larger broadband penetration.
Mhm.
But I think there is really little or nothing that the minister can do. I mean, he can promise anything he wants to promise from Abuja, but again, go and talk to our Lagos State governor, and I mean, Lagos State people, and then let them, ask questions around, okay, is our state, so this is what we charge in our state, irrespective of whatever you think from your own perspective.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a difficult thing. Really not, I don't sincerely see anything
Coming out of it.
And that's the truth.
All right, and right on cue, yes, here is Yinka. A minister that advised the cost of data to be reduced and nothing was done. I'm going to skip his next
No,
question.
the minister instructed.
Right.
I mean, this is the same minister that instructed that they should reduce the cost of data. And again, how do you instruct that?
For that to happen. They did it in South Africa, though, to be fair. They tried to do it to Vodacom and MTN in South Africa. The competition commission. So it's not just Nigeria where they'll be making
can't-
this kind of proclamation.
You can't just open.
I know,
wake
I know.
up one
I
morning
get
and
you.
say, okay,
Reduce data
Reduce-
costs. Yeah.
is that how it works?
Yinka continues. Broadband, whatever. Does he know internet is slow and expensive in Nigeria? So you, Rotus, think that private sector people inclusion in government does anything? What about the economic advisory team? What have they done so far? Yinka, I trust you. Dalvin says, "Hi, Rotus and Fisaya. I'm shocked that people weren't searching for how to migrate to Canada. That's it wasn't, because if you look at the top trending items, news items, it wasn't Canada migration wasn't there. It was the ASU strike, AFCON, Naira Marley. Who is this guy? He's a very popular
He's a popular
singer. MI from Makoka comes back, says O'Shea, politics and economics are joined at the hip though. Job searches are low online because the assumption is that the great jobs are not public or those online are mass jobs. The man don't know is why people hardly search. MI from Makoka, thank you for that. All right. Fisaya, where do we jump to now from this broadband stuff? Shall we go to this amount of money that was raised by this Lagos-based renewable energy company, Rensource Energy? Apparently, they raised, how much did they raise?
$20 million.
$20 million Series A to offer additional services to its micro energy businesses. So I have some faith in renewable energy, but I wish the government would support this more. What do we see here? If money is coming into this sector, it means that probably there's belief that maybe one day we can use renewable energy to go ahead.
Okay, so I've always had this argument. I think I've written about it a long time ago. I mean, long time ago doesn't mean 20 years,
Right,
like
right.
2-3 years ago.
Right.
About my view about solar power, solar energy, impact investments, and all of the the things around it. The more I look at solar businesses across Africa, I found, I mean, let's take a global view first. Solar is expensive.
Okay.
Right. So it's not a cheaper alternative to grid power.
Right.
It is not,
Okay.
because the infrastructure required, the solar panels are not alone. There's a battery, that there's a lot of, we have to store the power anyway.
Right.
So that's an expensive infrastructure to put together.
Yeah.
Right. So then people that are trying to save Africa showed up and said, okay, no problem, we'll give you.
People that are trying to save Africa.
Yeah.
That's how you put it. Okay, go on.
I mean, because Africa is poor,
and we need to be saved.
and you need to be saved,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So I'll give you a battery that can charge your phone, power your transistor radio.
Yeah.
Put on light bulb, and then that's impact, right? So
Right.
people that started that
Uh-huh.
started with that mindset, and then allowing you to pay for your power over 3 years, to pay for the infrastructure over 3 years. I mean, a light bulb in your room, power your radio, and then charge your phones.
Yeah.
And you pay for that for over 3 years. From an accounting perspective, the cash flow doesn't work.
Okay.
Your account receivables, I mean, they're meant to be current assets.
Right.
And current assets means that you're able to realize cash in less than a year. If you're going to sell something and then your cash will be realized over 3 years, so it means that you are always out of cash. And then this had always seen that this thing just blew up anyway,
right?
Because you've seen Mobisol blow up. We've seen quite a number of all these, retail targeted, solar powers blow up just ridiculously.
Right.
Anyways, but what Rensos is doing is quite different.
Okay.
Rather than saying that I'll go to a village and give power to a few people, I say no, I'll create a solar grid.
Okay.
Or a solar infrastructure and power a market.
Okay. So
right?
clusters.
Clusters.
So rather
rather
than trying to give power to everybody.
To everybody
right.
or just to individuals that can't afford to pay.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm guaranteeing power to this market.
Right.
I'm guaranteeing power to this estate. I'm guaranteeing power to this place, which for me makes significant sense in how this is being operated, because people have they're engaging in some great activities. They're able to pay, they're able to collect their money within a shorter period of time, and they're just able to have capital to finance. I think this is a way to go, and I think it's going to show how solar should be deployed. In
good stuff. Olusha is asking what happened to MTN's yellow box. That's a good. That was that little solar thing they were doing now. That one, it kind of faded away.
So what happened to
it? John says Bloomberg predicted that Nigeria is the destination country for renewable energy. That is comforting. Ifeanyi says here, I can't government coming with subsidy as regards solar power. Yeah, now that's what some people have been asking. The government should be, instead of subsidizing PMS, which I can understand that argument because of the masses. Why can't the government subsidize solar power? It's expensive though, right? For the government to subsidize solar power would also be
so expensive.
It's pretty expensive.
So this is a government that pays 60 cents on the dollar on loans.
Right.
This is a government that is borrowing to pay salaries. You now
want to add, but it would be nice if they switch. Anyway, we'll see. But that's a great question. MI is on the committee that's set up by for the minister. He's encouraged because of Funke Okweke, but I can't hold brief for any other committee member. This is for the broadband plan.
Because you don't even know any other policy member.
Exactly, that's the only one they mentioned. It says, remember the advisory. Yinka mentioned the advisory council, and MI is mentioning them now. Remember the advisory council at the presidential level, big names but small results. Hopefully,
because they set up this advisory committee.
Yeah.
The federal government shut the borders. Like, is this the advice you got? I'm sure that's not the advice you got.
Exactly.
There's no way.
No, it can't be
Those
possible.
people, and then the people in the advice committee are not come out to.
Nobody haven't said anything.
Like, we didn't advise you to do this or no. I don't know where got your advice from.
MI continues. Hopefully, we won't set up another committee to review this particular committee.
Of course.
And another committee. It's like one kind of infinite loop. Let's see now. Yinka is saying Rotus will be shocked about the number of listeners Business First has on the streets of Lagos. A lot of bank bosses listen to it, so please let's use this opportunity to start a campaign that salary account holders in banks should have easy access to quick loans with very attractive interest rates. See how Yinka is using the message to campaign, but I'm with him. Very attractive interest rates, not like the 22% without filing paperwork that makes it take too much time. All right, so please, bank bosses, you've heard Yinka. For salary account holder, let's try to reduce that. How much time we got? Okay, so Aya is giving me air traffic signals. 1 minute, real quick. Cheaper Cash has raised $6 million seed fund to expand into other African markets. Very quickly, got 1 minute. This one, now we're moving from solar power to cross-border transfers.
Mobile money transfers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's Cheaper Cash is Nigerian. They're Nigerian people, have you? Yes. Okay, cool. So what's the gist here? Essentially, they've raised money. And
they're not Nigerian.
Oh, they're not, eh?
So no.
Oh, okay. Oops. Okay, sorry. Cheaper Cash is not Nigerian, but pretty much it's still in Africa. They are expanding with the money that they've raised to try to get more people being able to transfer, do cross-border transfer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So via mobile money, because the argument is that mobile money is bottom of the pyramid being used, so people are able to move money across
across
borders.
the board. So,
So it's going to promote intra-Africa trade.
yeah,
you know, all
and
of
all
the
that good stuff.
good stuff. Except of course the borders are shut, so it can't bring anything.
Sorry, you and this one. Oh, finally, the top YouTube. Yeah, we didn't do this thing. The top YouTube earner,
Mhm.
an 8-year-old. How much did this small child make? He reviewed.
$26 million. Review toys. Hey, Jesus.
Incredible. Fisa, okay, we run out of time. But yeah, 8-year-old, we'll go over the list maybe next week. Because
Ryan Kaji, yeah.
2019 hasn't ended yet. We still have one more show before the year is over. So Fisayo, thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
Yinka, MI, John, Ifeanyi, everybody that sent messages, we appreciate you. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Business Express signing out.
Well done.
Thank you.
Business
We're
Express.
glad that you're here as thank you. Actually, keep us on track.
Well done. You didn't do too badly today with time.
Oh, I appreciate it.
12 seconds over time, but not too badly.
Oh, good.
Hoping for their dreams to come true. We chase our dreams down. They keep searching for answers. We question the answers and discover new possibilities. Why? Because we dare to choose different. We choose us. We choose Verve. Ask your bank for your Verve card today. Verve, the rewarding way to make payments.
I am Pope, and this is Smooth Breakfast.
Hey guys, it's your Afro girl Kaline, and you are listening to Smooth 98.1.
Happy birthday, mi amor.
Thank you, Greg. I hope you have my present.
Well, I thought you would prefer a Christmas trip to Dubai.
Sure, but you know how expensive pricing is around that area.
Well, that's the reason I chose Travel Wings. Travel Wings, you can book your December and even New Year tickets from now and enjoy their installment payment plan.
I've got to tell my friends about this.
All they have to do is book online at travelwings.com.ng or call them on 016-361-010.
No, I can't wait till December.
Travel Wings, get your wings to fly.
There's a lover in my life.
You know this one has been live?
Really?